Welcome to South East Today. I'm Natalie Graham.
And I'm Rob Smith. Tonight's top stories. A degree of cheating. We expose the company helping university students buy their qualifications.
Basically, if you have enough money, you can just buy your degree.
This scam system where people can buy their way to a good degree of qualification is extremely disturbing.
Hit in the head with a hammer and left for dead. A 14-year sentence for Joseph Williams' attacker.
Also in tonight's programme, the children who've crossed continents, now living in the Calais migrants camp, will be reporting live with the latest from the French port. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, but Margate's Dreamland is on track to reopen next year. And Kelly Brook tells us how she escaped a troubled childhood in Kent to find success in Hollywood.
Good evening. A Kent-based company is helping university students cheat their way to a degree by providing coursework essays for cash, an investigation by this programme has found. The company, called Essay Yard, claims to be based in Folkestone. In reality, it's based in Dubai.
The MP, Damien Collins, called our findings extremely disturbing and says universities may now have to consider moving away from coursework to greater emphasis on final exams. Piers Hopkirk has our exclusive report. Well, Piers joins us now from the University of Brighton. Piers, do we have any idea how widespread this kind of cheating is? Piers, thank you very much. A man who left a hammer embedded in his victim's skull in an unprovoked attack has been given a 14-year sentence. Joseph Williams attacked his flatmate in Margate as he slept.
Now, it was Connor Huntley's first night in his new home. He's been left brain damaged by the attack. Williams had denied attempted murder, but was found guilty today at the Old Bailey. You may find some of the images in Sarah Smith's report disturbing.
Sarah Smith, BBC South East Today, the Old Bailey.
Now, coming up in a moment, under inspection, 2 Sussex hospitals open their doors to the Care Quality Commission.
2 men have been detained on the M20 in Kent on suspicion of illegally entering the UK. Police were called just before 8 o'clock this morning and the men were handed to the Home Office enforcement officers based at Dover.
Well, meanwhile, the government says it's going to send the security fences that have been used at the NATO summit in Wales over to Calais in order to replace the current fencing, which, as we revealed on this programme last week, migrants are now climbing over on a daily basis. Well, our special correspondent, Colin Campbell, is in Calais for us now. Colin, realistically, do we think this extra security is going to make any difference? OK, Colin, thank you. Well, there's a special report on the situation in Calais on Inside Out tonight on BBC One. That's at the slightly later than normal time of 8 o'clock. A convicted rapist is on the run after fleeing during his trial in Sussex. Sarbaz Najmuddin Ali from St Leonard's was convicted in his absence of a series of sexual offences against a 23-year-old man from Hastings after he disappeared from the precincts of Hove Crown Court last Thursday. Repair work has resumed on Eastbourne's fire-damaged pier following the death of a workman. The site had been sealed off for investigations after Stephen Penrice fell while working there last month. A third of the pier was destroyed by the fire at the end of July.
Inspectors from the Care Quality Commission are assessing the East Sussex Healthcare NHS Trust following a highly controversial reconfiguration of services. Campaigners were angered when all stroke services were moved to Eastbourne District General in 2012, with emergency orthopaedics and general surgery moved the other way to the Conquest Hospital at St Leonard's. A year later, they claimed plans to downgrade maternity services at one of the sites would put lives at risk, but they lost their fight a few weeks ago, where consultant-led maternity and paediatric services were permanently removed from Eastbourne. 8 areas within the hospitals. A full report was published before the end of the year.
Well, the time now is 6:45. This is our top story tonight. A company which claims to be based in Folkestone is helping university students cheat their way to a degree by providing coursework essays for cash.
Also tonight, mixing his drinks. The artist who uses tea, alcohol and ink brings his work to Brighton.
Hello, I'm Kelly Brook and I'm going to be chatting about my new autobiography, Close Up, and letting you know why now's the right time to reveal all on BBC South East.
And it's been a lovely, bright start to the working week. Is it going to stay this way? Well, join me later in the programme for the forecast.
Now, for decades, Dreamland drew the crowds to Margate. Day trippers and holiday makers came in their thousands to enjoy the fun of the fair. The decline of the amusement park, though, began more than 10 years ago when its closure was announced. You may remember the arson attack in 2008, which damaged the Grade 2 listed scenic railway. But last year, Thanet District Council took control of Dreamland with a compulsory purchase order. Since then, specialists have been restoring the vintage rides, and Dreamland's on track to reopen next year. John Hunt has our special report.
John Hunt, BBC South East Today.
It's going to be fantastic, isn't it?
It's going to be very interesting to see how they do it, isn't it? Now, the artist Carn Griffiths is unafraid of challenging convention. He's got a very colourful CV of work, ranging from delicate portraits made with wine, brandy and tea to even the gold-embroidered coronation robes he created for the King of Tonga.
And after training as an artist in Kent in the 90s, Carn Griffiths has returned to the South East for a retrospective of his extraordinary work in Brighton. Miranda Shunker met up with him.
Miranda Shunker, South East Today, Brighton.
Now, a violent upbringing, tabloid ridicule and 2 miscarriages. Those are just some of the stories revealed in Kelly Brook's new autobiography. Called Close Up, it tells how a little girl went from a council estate in Rochester to the red carpets of Hollywood.
The journey hasn't been easy by any means for the model-turned-actress and, indeed, businesswoman. Ian Palmer discovered all that when he caught up with her at her publishers in London.
Ian Palmer, BBC South East Today, London.
That's a pretty good story, isn't it? Now, summer seems to be having a last hurrah, Rachel. It's pretty lovely out there today.
I know, it's been a glorious start to the week. And speaking of glorious starts, this was the view that Dean Curry had this morning as he made his way to work in Deal in Kent to his fishing tackle shop. Now, a majestic way to start the day, and if you've got any photographs of your day in the South East, we'd love to see them. Please send them in. The email address is southeast@bbc.co.uk, or you can get in touch on our Twitter or Facebook pages. It means we see light winds over the next couple of days, lots of sunshine on offer. It's feeling warm during the afternoons and a little bit chilly at night. So yes, summer's last hurrah.
Boring, it's fine when it's like that. We'll cope with that. Thanks, Rachel.
That's not boring at all. That's marvellous. I'll be back at 8 o'clock and at 10:25, so I'll see you then.
And stay tuned for Inside Out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.